Welcome back and welcome to Women in Sports. We start today in the world of soccer and a history-making award. The U.S. Women's National Team head coach Emma Hayes has been named the 2024 Women's Coach of the Year. This is her first world honor as the leader of Team USA, and it comes from France Football, the top soccer magazine in France and one of the most reputable in all of Europe. The magazine has been honoring men's players since 1956 and women athletes since 2018, but this is the first year a women's head coach has been recognized. And speaking of the national team, they had their first game together after winning an Olympic gold. It was a comeback win over Iceland, with the U.S. walking away victorious 3-1. The team has yet to lose under coach Emma Hayes, and one of those goals was scored by 18-year-old Alyssa Thompson, who just barely missed the Olympic cut this summer. She is now the fourth teenager this year alone to score a goal for Team USA. That's the most teenage firepower since the year 2000, when 6 players under 20 notched a goal. Also at that game, star player Mallory Swanson recorded her 100th cap. Now in soccer, a cap refers to the number of times a player represents their country in an international match. And Swanson has proven herself to be a dangerous and invaluable part of this U.S. Women's National Team offense, including during the Paris Olympics. Well, we're going to stay with soccer here, but switch over to the National Women's Soccer League. After winning an unbelievable 23 straight games, the Orlando Pride are now on a 2-game losing streak. The Pride lost 2-1 against the New York, New Jersey Gotham FC, and Gotham now the only team this season to score 3 goals against the Pride. Now the question is, can the Pride find a win in their final regular season game, which is this Saturday? And of course, right after this weekend, the playoffs are about to take off in the NWSL. Here are the current standings. The top 8 teams will advance to postseason play, these 8 teams right now, and it looks like it's going to be a tight race to that last spot between Bay FC and right behind them, Racing Louisville FC. Bay is looking to become the second ever expansion team to make it to the playoffs in their debut season, and Louisville looking to find their first ever trip to the playoffs. One team that's going to look different by next season is Chicago. The club has announced a major rebrand, which includes a new name. Instead of the Chicago Red Stars, the club will soon be the Chicago Stars FC. The club says it puts more focus on the word Chicago and better aligns the name with the sport of soccer. Although the WNBA season just ended, things are already majorly shaking up. More than half of the league's 12 teams have parted ways with their head coach since the season ended. We're talking 7 out of 12 teams. That includes Indiana Fever coach Christy Sides, right there, and just yesterday, Connecticut Sun coach Stephanie White, seen right there. There have also been a string of general managers that have departed as well, and we haven't even seen the Golden State Valkyrie expansion draft yet. So, needless to say, lots to watch in the W over the next few months. And finally tonight, we have one local lady on this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout list. Pleasant Valley senior Annie Wedemeyer. She ran her way straight into a district title with a time of 18:33, making her one of this week's MTI nominees. Of course, you can vote for her or any of this week's Score Standout nominees by visiting WQAD.com. The poll will be on the sports page and the score page, and you have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote. Each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. That'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.